name the kind of man your sister wants, and she'll snatch him up. Don't forget to bring your maiden aunts, and she'll match him up. Call on Dolly. If your eldest daughter needs a friend, just name the kind of man your sister wants, and she'll snatch him up. Don't forget to bring your maiden aunts, and she'll match him up. Call on
Dolly Levi! Yes, Mrs. Dolly Levi, born Gallagher. Social introductions. Ladies and gentlemen of excellent families, introduced under the most respectable conditions in an atmosphere of elegance and refinement. Object, matrimony. Unfortunately, I will be unable to offer my usual lightning services, as I have a previous appointment in Yonkers, New York, arranging the second marriage of Mr. Horace Vandergelder, the well-known half-a-millionaire. As my late husband, Ephraim Levi, always said, that means he's got at least 60,000 cash. But I will do my best to have you carried across somebody's threshold before the week is out. I might also mention that I'm available for financial consultations, instruction in the guitar and mandolin, short distance hauling, and varicose veins reduced.
Call on Dolly. She's the one the spinsters recommend. Just name the kind of man your sister wants, and she'll snatch him up. Don't forget to bring your maiden aunts, and she'll match him up. Call on Dolly.
Mrs. Levi!
Mr. Kemper, the artist. You know I'm something of an artist myself. I do those little silhouettes with scissors and black paper. Here's one of Ada Rehan looking the other way. I have to do them like that because I'm no good at noses.
Mrs. Levi, the train for Yonkers leaves in 5 minutes, and if we don't get there on time...
We will, Mr. Kemper, and not only will Horace Vandergelder give you permission to marry his niece Ermengarde, but he will dance at your wedding. And not alone either, because I happen to be engaged in finding him a suitable second wife himself. What he really wants is someone steady to clean the house. As my late husband, Mr. Levi, always said, marriage is a bribe to make a housekeeper think she's a householder.
I know all about it, Mrs. Levi. Half New York says he's going to propose to Mrs. Irene Malloy this very afternoon.
Which is exactly why I'm on my way to Yonkers this morning, Mr. Kemper, and can take on your case. I'll knock off 4 lovebirds with 1 stone, or whatever I'll throw, I'll see, and... Well, would you look at that? It seems as if I have nothing here to pay my train fare with. Only large bills, 5s and 7s.
I have some change here somewhere. I only hope this is no wild goose chase, Mrs. Levi.
Speaking of poultry, I am also available for fresh Jersey eggs, surgical corsets reboned, ears pierced, pierced ears replugged.
Mrs. Levi!
Just name the kind of man your sister wants, and she'll snatch him up. Don't forget to bring your maiden aunts, and she'll match him up. Call on Dolly.
Tell me, Mrs. Levi, what's in all this for you?
A living, Mr. Kemper. Some people paint, some sew, I meddle. I have always been a woman who arranges things for the pleasure and the profit it derives. I have always been a woman who arranges things like furniture and daffodils and lives. When a man with a timid tongue meets a girl with a diffident air, why should the tortured creatures beat around the bush when heaven knows Mother Nature always needs a little push? So I put my hand in here, I put my hand in there. And a girl over 6'3" loves a man who comes up to her ear. Surely it's obvious she'll never be seduced till some kind soul condescends to give her beau a little boost. So I put my hand in here, I put my hand in there. I have always been a woman who arranges things. It's my duty to assist the Lord above. I have always been a woman who arranges things like luncheon parties, poker games, and love. My aplomb at cosmetic art turned a frump to a trump lady fair. She had a countenance a little bit like Scrooge, but oh, today you would swear the Lord himself applied the rouge when I put my hand in here. A little him, a little her, a little shape, a little mold, a little. Some poor chap gets sold a little. When I use my fists a little, some young bride gets kissed a little. Pressure with the thumbs, matrimony comes when I put my hand in there.
Mrs. Levi?
Mr. Kemper, the Yonkers train is ready to leave. Now you buy our tickets, get a window seat, order lunch, and I'll meet you on board. Ephraim Levi, I'm going to get married again. I'm going to marry Horace Vandergelder for his money and send it out circulating among the people like rainwater, the way you taught me. And I want a sign from you, sometime today, that you approve. Oh, it won't be a marriage in the sense that we had one, but I shall certainly make him happy. And I'm tired, Ephraim. Tired of living from hand to mouth. And so I want that sign.
Mrs. Levi?
Sometime today. We'll make that train. We'll get to Yonkers. You'll marry Ermengarde, Mr. Kemper. Just leave everything to me. For when my little pinky wiggles, some young maiden gets the giggles. Then I make my knuckles active. My, he says she's so attractive. Then I move my index digit, and they both begin to fidget. Then I clench my palm, the preacher reads a psalm when I put my hand in there.
Supposed to play Yonkers, my Yonkers, with all that bellowing in my ears.
I can't help it, Uncle. I love Ambrose Kemper.
And I say you're too young to love anyone. Here, take this.
I'm not too young. I'm 17. And in another year, I'll be an old maid.
Well, I forbid it. Dare to be an old maid, Ermengarde, or cut you off without a cent. And don't cry in the store, it scares the customers.
I can't help it. I'm unhappy.
Then by thunder, you'll go and weep in New York for a while, but won't be noticed. Now go upstairs and start packing your trunk. I don't get any tears on the lock, it was just oiled. Cornelius Barnaby!
You stamped, Mr. Vandergelder?
I did. I've got news for you both. I'm going to New York this afternoon to march in the 14th Street Parade, and when I return, you're going to have a new mistress.
But I'm too young, Mr. Vandergelder.
Not yours, hell and damnation, mine! I mean I'm getting married again. And in honor of the occasion, I decided to promote you, Cornelius, to chief clerk.
And what am I now, Mr. Vandergelder?
An impertinent fool is what you are. I'm promoting you from impertinent fool to chief clerk. Any more questions?
Yes.
What?
Does the chief clerk get one evening off a week?
So this is how you thank me for your promotion, is it? No, sir, you'll attend to the store as usual. Now get back to work! And don't forget to put the lid on the sheep dip! Evenings off, marrying artists, foolishness. 99% of the people in this world are fools, and the rest of us are in great danger of contamination. I was young once, which was foolish, got married, which was foolish, and was poor, which was more foolish than anything else. Then my wife died, which was foolish of her. I grew older, which was sensible of me, became rich, friendless, and mean, which in Yonkers is about as far as you can go. Oh, I know what you must be wondering now. Why a man of so much good sense be planning something as foolish as getting married again? The answer is simple. This house without a woman would be an empty shell. And pretty dirty, too. Takes a woman all powdered and pink to joyously clean out the drain in the sink. Yes, it takes an angel with long golden lashes and soft resin fingers for dumping the ashes. Yes, it takes a woman, a dainty woman, a sweetheart, a mistress, a wife. Oh, yes, it takes a woman, a fragile woman, to bring you the sweet things in life. The frail young maiden who's constantly there for washing and bluing and shoeing the mare. Yes, it takes a female for setting the table and weaning the goinsey and cleaning the stable. Yes, it takes a woman, a dainty woman, a sweetheart, a mistress, a wife. Oh, yes, it takes a woman, a fragile woman, to bring you the sweet things in life. And so she'll work until infinity. 3 cheers for femininity. La 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 la. F-E-M-I-T-Y. F-E-M-I-T-Y? Get out of here! And in the winter she'll shovel the ice and lovingly set out the traps for the mice. She's a joy and treasure, for practically speaking, to whom can you turn when the plumbing is leaking? To that dainty woman, that fragile woman, that sweetheart, that mistress, that wife. Oh, yes, it takes a woman, a husky woman, to bring you the sweet things in life. Oh, yes, it takes a woman, a dainty woman, a sweetheart, a mistress, a wife. Oh, yes, it takes a woman, a fragile woman, to bring you the sweet things in life. All right, out of here, all of you, out! Out!
Congratulations, congratulations, 1,000 congratulations.
What? What?
Congratulations, Mr. Vandergelder. All of New York is buzzing with the news that you've practically proposed to Irene Malloy. All of the eligible young ladies of New York are prostrate in the street with grief. All of my congratulations and sympathy.
Sympathy?
Did I say that? A slip of the tongue. No, really, I'm delighted with the happy news. After all, she wasn't easy to unload.
Mrs.
Well, by that I mean, well, you know what they said, but I never believed rumors. No, I didn't.
Rumors? What rumors?
Nothing to get upset about, Mr. Vandergelder. I mean, according to all known facts, her first husband passed on quite naturally. It's just that he went so sudden. A few spoonfuls of chowder she made special for him, and... But it could happen to anyone, though there's not a word of truth in it. Just one word of advice, Mr. Vandergelder. Eat out.
Now, Mrs. Levi, do you mean to say that
I
Mrs.
mean to
Malloy...
say nothing, Mr. Vandergelder, just some friendly advice. Keep away from the chowder. By the way, she's already ordered her wedding gown. Beautiful, you should see it. Black. Well, as I said before, congratulations on your forthcoming nuptials, Mr. Vandergelder, and may you rest in... may guardian angels watch over you both, particularly at dinner.
Mrs. Levi, you introduced me to Mrs. Malloy. And rumors are not, I still intend on calling on her this afternoon, as arranged.
Very well, Mr. Vandergelder, then I guess there's nothing more for me to do but to go back to New York and tell the other girl, the heiress, not to wait.
What did you say?
Nothing. A word. Heiress.
Particulars, Mrs. Levi. I demand particulars. Her name.
Her name. Her name is Money. Ernestina Money.
What a lovely, lovely name.
Picture, if you will, hair as shiny as a newly minted dime, eyes as round as big silver dollars, skin as soft and mossy as an old greenback.
I can feel her now.
Age 19, weight 102, waist 47.
Waist 47?
That's with the money belt. Now, I could arrange for you to meet Ernestina this very afternoon.
I ain't got time, Mrs. Levi. I've got to bring my niece Ermengarde to New York until she forgets a certain Ambrose Kemper.
I could do that for you, Mr. Vandergelder. I know just how to handle such things.
And then I'm marching in the 14th Street Parade.
What an amazing coincidence! Guess who's been chosen to ride on the main float of the parade? The spirit of 14th Street? Miss Money! Her mother was a cash, you know.
All right, I'll meet this Miss Money. But I still intend on calling on Mrs. Malloy first.
Oh dear, what races you make me run. Very well, Mr. Vandergelder, then I'll meet you at 2:30 on that bench across from Mrs. Malloy's hat shop as usual.
And one more thing, Mrs. Levi. Say I decide against Mrs. Malloy, and I don't like Miss Money neither.
Well then, I happen to have one more name on my list. A name I know as well as, well, my own. But let's not get into that now. It'll all come up all by itself. Don't you worry about it. But wait till you see Ernestina Horace. A vision, a dream.
It takes a woman all powdered and pink to joyously clean out the drain in the sink. Yes, it takes an angel with long golden lashes and soft resin fingers for dumping the ashes.
Yes. It takes a woman, ba-dum, dum, da-dum, ba-da-dum, da-da-dum, a wife. You know, Ephraim, I'm going to have that room done up in blue wallpaper. Yes, in blue. Ermengarde, Ambrose, come on down here. We've got some plans to make.
clerk. Promoted from chief clerk to chief clerk. And if I'm good, in 10 years, I'll be promoted to chief clerk again. 33 years old, and I still don't get an evening off. When am I going to begin to live?
Well, you can live on holidays, Cornelius.
Do you forget what we did last Christmas? All those canned tomatoes went bad and exploded, and you and I cleaned up the mess all afternoon. Do you call that living?
No.
Barnaby, you and I are going to New York.
You mean close the store?
Uh-huh.
Cornelius, we can't!
We'll have to. Some more rotten tomato cans are going to explode.
Holy cabooses! How do you know?
I'm gonna light this candle under them, that's how I know. They'll make such a smell customers won't be able to come into this place for 24 hours. That'll get us an evening off. We're going to New York, Barnaby, and we're going to live. We're gonna have a good meal. We're gonna spend our money. We're gonna be in danger. We're gonna be arrested. Woo!
Holy cabooses!
And one more thing, we're not coming back to Yonkers until we've each kissed a girl.
Cornelius, you can't do that. You don't know any girls.
33 years old, I've got to begin sometime.
I'm only 17, Cornelius. It isn't so urgent for me.
New York, Barnaby, elevated trains, the lights of Broadway, the stuffed whale at Barnum's Museum.
A stuffed whale?
A stuffed whale! What do you say, Barnaby?
Yes, Cornelius! Yes!
Now, the main thing to do is to try and show that that you're financially independent. I know I'll find you a job. Can you dance?
I'm an artist, Mrs. Levi. I paint.
Well then, my card.
Mrs. Dolly Levi. Painters taught how to dance.
Now there's a man, Rudolph Marzenweber, at the Harmonia Gardens restaurant on 14th Street. I'll give you both a note and see if he can't have you enter in the poker contest tonight. The prize is a week's engagement and a sterling silver cup. Oh, the cups we won, my Ephraim and me.
Well, hold on, Mrs. Levi. No fiancé of mine are going to set foot in a cafe. And I don't mind saying, I'm surprised that you have acquaintances in a place like that.
Not acquaintances, Mr. Kemper. Friends. Dear friends from days gone by. My late husband, Ephraim Levi, believed in life and any place you could find it. Cafes, ballrooms, yes, even theaters. Why, even when times were bad, every Saturday night like clockwork, down those stairs, the Harmonia Gardens, we came, my Ephraim and me.
It's all very well to come down like clockwork, Mrs. Levi, but you're asking Ermengarde to work there.
It's the only way to show Horace Vandergelder we mean business. Now you will go to the Harmonia Gardens restaurant and tell them that Mrs. Levi sent you, and incidentally, tell them that Dolly is coming back, and I want a table for two and a chicken for 8 o'clock tonight.
The bottom row looks all right, Cornelius. Now hold it under the ones on top. Oh, not too close. They're swelled up like they're ready to burst. Oh, holy cabooses, Cornelius. I can smell it up here.
Let's get dressed, Barnaby. We're going to New York. Out there's a world outside of Yonkers. Way out there beyond this hick town, Barnaby. There's a slick town, Barnaby. Out there, full of shine and full of sparkle. Close your eyes and see it glisten, Barnaby. Listen, Barnaby. Put on your Sunday clothes, there's lots of world out there. Get out the brilliantine and dime cigars. We're gonna find adventure in the evening air. Girls in white in a perfume night, with the lights are bright as the stars. Put on your Sunday clothes, we're gonna ride through town in one of those new horse-drawn open cars. We'll see the shows at Delmonico's, and we'll close the town in a whirl. And we won't come home until we've kissed a girl.
Put on your Sunday clothes when you feel down and out. Trot down the street and have your picture took. Just like a dream, your spirits seem to turn about. That Sunday shine is a certain sign that you feel as fine as you look. Beneath your parasol, the world is all a smile that makes you feel brand new down to your toes. Get out your feathers, your patent leathers, your beads and buckles and bows, for there's no blue Monday in your Sunday clothes.
Come on, Barnaby, we're going to New York. The elevated trains, Barnaby, the lights of Broadway. The stuffed whale at Barnum's Museum. Wow. Come on.
Sunday.
Clothes when you feel down and out. So down the street and have your picture took. Just like a dream, your spirits seem to turn about.
That Sunday shine is a certain sign that you feel as fine as you look. Beneath your parasol, the world is all a smile that makes you feel brand new down to your toes. Get out your feathers, your patent leathers, your beads and buckles and bows, for there's no blue Monday in your Sunday clothes.
Beneath your bowler brim, the world's a simple song. A lovely lilt that makes you tilt your nose. Get out your slickers, your flannel knickers, your red suspenders and hose, for there's no blue Monday in your Sunday clothes.
Ermengarde, stop sniveling, don't cry on the valises. We haven't missed a trade yet, thank the Lord. Lovely, you're improving now, get all 11 pieces. We're 7 minutes late. All aboard!
All aboard! All aboard! All aboard!
Put on your Sunday clothes, there's lots of world out there. Put on your silk cravat and patent shoes, for I can feel adventure in the evening air.
To town we'll trot, to a smoky spot where the girls are hot as a fuse.
Put on my silk hat and at the turn of cuff, wear a handmade bracelet, cotton glove.
We'll join the Astors at Tony Bastards, and this I'm positive of, that we won't come home, that we won't come home, that we won't come home until we fall in
My silk hat and at the turn of cuff,
We'll wear a handmade bracelet, buttoned glove. We'll join the Astors at Tony Pastor's, and this I'm positive of, that we won't come home, that we won't come home, that we won't come home until we fall in love.
Oh dear, oh my, will you look at that? 10 o'clock and the shop's not open yet. Oh, it's all because of the impending marriage. What marriage? Oh, I thought you knew. Why, the marriage Mrs. Levi is arranging between Mr. Horace Van Gelder, the well-known Yonkers half-a-millionaire, and my employer and dear friend, Mrs. Irene Malloy. Although, if you ask me, he'll never take the place of her late husband, Mr. Peter Malloy. May he rest in peace wherever he is. I'm not sure he was a caution, you know. Oh, it's all too much, what with late husbands and new marriages. And on top of all that. Miss Mortimer returning this hat for the 3rd time. Same old story. She wants more cherries and feathers to catch a bow, I suppose. Although, if you ask me, she'd be better off with a nice heavy veil. I told her ribbons down our back is what we'll be wearing this summer if we want to catch a gentleman's eye, but she'd have none of it. More cherries and feathers she wants on today of all days when that poor dear sweet Mrs. Malloy has enough on her mind. What with
What, Minnie?
with the door. It's stuck.
It's stuck, then push.
Just bite out my tongue for the things I've said and the things I'm going to say. But as long as I've gone this far, I might as well go all the way. Mrs. Malloy, why?
Say it, Minnie. Why have I decided to marry Horace Vandergelder?
Oh, Mrs. Malloy, I didn't ask you that. I would rather die on the rack than ask you such a personal question. But as long as you did bring it up.
I am marrying Horace Vandergelder for one reason and one reason alone, Minnie. To get away from the millinery business. I hate hats.
Oh, Mrs. Malloy!
And I can no longer stand up being suspected of being a wicked woman with nothing to show for it.
Mrs. Malloy!
Don't protest, Minnie. All millinerists are suspected of being wicked women. That's why I can't go into restaurants or balls or theaters. That's all the proof they need. Take my word for it, Minnie. Either I marry Horace Vandergelder or I break out this place like a fire engine. Woo. Oh, no. Not Miss Mortimer again.
Miss Mortimer, I'll take care of it.
No, Minnie, leave it be. You can make another hat for Miss Mortimer if you'd like. I'm wearing this one myself.
But Mrs. Malloy, you can't. You're a widow and that hat, why, it's provocative, that's what.
Is it, Minnie? Well, who knows when we walk into the shop today? And provocative may be just what I want to be.
Mrs. Malloy!
I'll be wearing ribbons down my back this summer. Blue and green and streaming in the yellow sky. So if someone special comes my way this summer, he might notice me passing by. And so I'll try to make it easier to find me in the stillness of July, because a breeze might stir a rainbow up behind me that might happen to catch a gentleman's eye, and he might smile and take me by the hand this summer, making me recall how lovely love can be. And so I will proudly wear ribbons down my back, shining in my hair, that he might
next question I'm about to ask, but I'm going to ask it anyhow. Do you love Horace Van de Gelder?
No, Minnie, I don't. Peter Malloy, God rest him, was my share of love, and I'm not saying I was shortchanged. Once is enough for a woman, as long as it's true love.
And it was that.
Oh, look, Minnie, there's two men staring at the shop.
Men in the shop!
Oh, why, I do believe they mean to come in here.
Oh, Mrs. Malloy, what shall we do?
Do I? Flirt with them, of course. I'll give you the short one.
Oh, Mrs. Malloy, and you with all that talk about love.
Oh, love enough I've had, Minnie. It's a bit of an adventure we could do with now. We'll get them all heated up and then drop them cold. It'll be good practice for married life. Now you go back into the workroom, Minnie. I know some ways we can perk up our appearances. And besides, a little bit of weight will only make them nervous and more easier for us, too.
If you say vampire, I'll scream.
Vampire. And so I'll try to make it easier to find me in the stillness of July, because a breeze might stir a rainbow up behind me that might happen to catch a gentleman's eye. Oh, Minnie, we'll get an adventure out of this yet.
We'll get an adventure out of this yet, Barnaby.
Even if our adventure came along now, I'd be too tired to enjoy it. Cornelius, why isn't this an adventure?
All day long, we wander around New York and nothing happens. Then we come to the quietest street in the city and suddenly...
Van der Gelder!
Is he still out there? Go look.
He's sitting there on that bench. Cornelius, are you sure this is an adventure?
You don't have to ask, Barnaby. When you're in one, you'll know it all right.
Cornelius, let's arrange a signal. For instance, you say pudding to me when it's an adventure we're in.
Pudding! Now, how much money have we got left?
Not much. 40 cents for the train back, 30 cents for dinner, and 20 cents to see the whale! 90 cents, why?
When those women come back, we'll have to, pretend we're customers. Customers, that's it. Maybe the best thing to do is make them think we're rich. Then we won't have to spend anything. We're two men about town looking for some hats for ladies. Good afternoon, Mrs. Here, Cornelius Hackle.
Here, Barnaby Tucker.
My pleasure, gentlemen. Now what can I do for you,
We're two ladies about town looking for some hats to Malloy, and we wonder...
Perhaps you see me wanted to buy a literature that we can Malloy with it.
We would like a hat. For a lady, of course. And everybody said come to Mrs. Malloy's because she's so pretty. I mean, because her hats are so pretty.
And so reasonable, Cornelius. As reasonable as under $1 would leave us enough to see the whale!
You've got to pay him no mind, ma'am. He's come all the way from Yonkers to see the stuffed whale, and he's all excited. Keep an eye on that window, Barnaby, and maybe you'll see it pass by.
Is it big and black and have mean little red eyes?
Uh-huh.
It's sitting there on that bench.
Excuse me, but did you say Yonkers, Mr. Hackle?
Oh, yes, ma'am. Yonkers. And forgive me for saying this, but you should see Yonkers. And by that, I mean perhaps Mr. Malloy would like to see Yonkers, too.
Oh, I'm a widow, Mr. Hackle.
You are? Barnaby, she's a widow! That's too bad. Well, I'm sure Mr. Malloy would have enjoyed Yonkers, especially in that hat. I mean, on you, of course, not Mr. Malloy. May you rest in peace. You're Catholic, aren't you? Well, don't let that worry you. I'd be willing to change. Mrs. Malloy, if you should ever have a Sunday free in the near future, I'd be more than pleased to show you Yonkers from top to bottom.
Well, as a matter of fact, Mr. Hackle, I might be there sooner than you think.
Oh, really?
You see, I have a friend who lives in Yonkers.
Do you?
Perhaps you know him.
Perhaps we do.
Oh, it's always foolish to ask in cases like that, isn't it? It's a Mr. Van der Gelder.
Horace Van der Gelder?
Van der Gelder's hay and feed?
Do you know him?
No.
He's a substantial man who won't likely tell me.
A substantial man and lovely man. Mrs. Malloy, just lovely. Has only one fault as far as I know. He's hard as nails.
Cornelius, I think
Oh, maybe your friend might like this one.
Begging your pardon, Mrs. Malloy.
Gentlemen, what are you doing?
Help us, Mrs. Malloy. We'll explain later.
Come out of there this minute! Where are you going?
We're as innocent as can be, Mrs. Malloy.
Oh, really, Mr. Hackle, Mr. Tucker, I insist you get out of there. I'll be forced to. Oh, Mr. Vandergelder.
Mrs. Malloy, I don't suppose Mrs. Levi is here, is she? She was supposed to meet me on that bench 10 minutes ago. Well, she can just go looking for me if she comes. When I make an appointment, I like people to be on time. Here's a present for you. Chocolate-covered peanuts, unshelled. That's the expensive kind. Did I see you talking to two men?
Men, Mr. Vandergelder. What would men be doing in a ladies' hat shop? Well, now let's go back into my workroom. I'm so anxious for you to see it.
I saw it last week.
So you did. Well, Mr. Vandergelder, what's new in the hay and feed business? I hear you have 3 friends, all hard as nails, I mean.
What on earth are you talking about?
Yonkers, I hear it's a beautiful city.
And who's been telling you about Yonkers, may I ask?
Nobody? A friend?
What friend?
Well, you see,
He?
a customer, Mr. Vandergelder. Someone quite well-to-do, as a matter of fact. He was in here buying hats for ladies. You might even know him with always foolish asking cases like that, isn't it? It's Mr. Cornelius Hackle.
Did you say Hackle?
Why, yes.
Well, he just happens to be my head clerk, that's all. Mrs. Malloy, I demand an explanation.
And I'm going to give it to you. Why shouldn't you know Cornelius Hackle? Everyone knows Cornelius Hackle. Why? He's here at the Opera and all the fashionable homes. Why, he's the Harmonia Gardens restaurant 3 times a week.
Impossible. He's only got $146.35. And I keep it in my own safe.
Oh, Mr. Vandergelder, you are killing me. He is one of the Hackles. They built the canal.
What canal?
The Erie. The Panama. Both.
It ain't the same man.
Who took the horses out of Jenny Lynn's carriage and pulled her through the streets? Cornelius Hackle. And who dressed up as a waiter at the 5th Avenue Hotel and dropped an oyster right down Mrs. Astor's? Well, I can't say it, but it was Cornelius. He is the playboy of New York. Now, Irene, don't deny it. I can see you were taken with him as anybody else.
Dolly, what are you saying? I've only seen him once in my life. Oh, of course.
Of course.
Thank you.
Minnie, hold your tongue! Minnie, back! In there. There's a man in there!
Mrs. Levi, if there's a man in that closet...
No, you can't, Mr. Vandergelder. It's too dangerous.
No man who hides in ladies' closets can frighten me. Now stand aside.
I'm sure you'd make short work of any man, all those muscles rippling back and forth beneath your coat. Ripple, ripple, ripple back and forth. Ripple, ripple, ripple.
Mrs. Levi!
Ripple,
Mrs. Levi!
ripple.
Mrs. Levi! For the last time, will you stand aside?
Stand indeed, Mr. Vandergelder. That's exactly what the court will want to know when you're accused of entering that closet without a search warrant. I mean, what do you stand for if you don't stand for the laws of this great land? I know what I stand for. I stand for motherhood, America, and a hot lunch for orphans. Take off your hat, sir. Betsy Ross's flag is passing. Do you see him on the hill at Gettysburg, 'neath that great triumphal arch? If you see him as he's trampling through the grapes of wrath, stand up and march, march, march.
This not affected you, sir. I came here at 14 years of age as an immigrant girl from land that oppressed my people, and I must echo here what was said by the great and patriotic American,
Moses!
I stand for motherhood, America, and a hot lunch for orphans. Take off your hat, sir. There's a tear-stained eagle passing. Do you see him on the bridge at Waterloo, 'neath that great triumphal arch? If you hear him singing Dixie in the sugar cane, stand up and march, march, march.
As you can see, Mr. Vandergelder, there couldn't possibly be a man hiding in that closet.
Achoo!
God bless you.
Mrs. Malloy!
Right, Mr. Vandergelder, there is a man in that cupboard.
Aha!
And another one under that table.
What the devil?
There also happens to be a very simple explanation, but for the present, good afternoon.
Oh my lord, the whole room is crawling with men. I take it I'll be seeing you later this afternoon, Mr. Vandergelder.
You certainly will, Mrs. Levi, with a certain young lady on the main float at the end of the parade. Good day, Mrs. Malloy.
Mrs. Malloy, I promise.
My goodness. Here you go.
Now,
Mrs. Malloy, I
I
promise
do
I
not
can
wish you
explain
any
everything.
explanations, Mr. Hackle. Just you and Mr. Tucker do me the pleasure of leaving my shop at once, or I'll send for Officer Gogarty.
if you ask me, Irene, calling a law officer is letting them off too easy. The law courts, that's where they belong. You see, I've been adding up the offenses that these two have committed, and you've got at least enough for 2 writs. A non compos mentis and a garnishee. Now the main thing to do is try and show that you settled it amicably first. Have dinner with them.
Dinner?
Is that absolutely necessary, Dolly?
It's the way things are done in the law, Irene, dear. Dinner first, garnishee afterwards.
Well, if it must be, Mr. Hackle, Mr. Tucker, you may take Miss Fay and myself to dinner.
Delighted. I speak for Barnaby, too. Now, I hear there's a very nice restaurant in the railroad station.
Oh, no, Mr. Hackle. If the Harmonia Gardens is good enough for your fashionable friends, it's good enough for us. I hear they have a lovely orchestra there.
Oh, no, we couldn't go there. Now, don't misunderstand me. It isn't the money or anything. It's the whale. It's the whale. No, it isn't the whale, Barnaby. It's the dancing. You see, they have dancing in places like that, exhibitions, even contests, and I don't know how, and it would take me weeks, months, years to learn, and Mrs. Dolly Levi, 33-year-old chief clerks, taught how to dance.
Now, it's quite simple, Mr. Hackle. You put one arm here and one arm here.
Oh, it's no use. I have absolutely no sense of rhythm.
Absolutely no sense of rhythm is one of the primary requirements of learning by the Gallagher-Levi method. Just give me 5 minutes of your time, Mr. Hackle, and I'll have you dancing in the streets. I believe we'll begin with lesson 7, the waltz kick turn. It's quite simple. Ready? Right foot touch, left foot touch, under, back, around, touch, back, through, around, behind, out, over, release, unfold. Oh, that was wonderful. When I think of the lucky women who'll find heaven in your arms. Let's go back to lesson 1, shall we? Put your hand on her waist and stand. With her right in your left hand. And 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3.
Look, I'm dancing! Well, I was.
Of course you were, Mr. Hackle. Take the someone whose arms you're in. Hold on to her tight and spin. And 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3.
Look, I'm dancing!
Turn around and try floating through the air. Can you be a little more aesthetic?
Don't you think my dancing has a polish and a flair?
Well, the word I think I'd use is athletic.
Well, my heart is about to burst. My head is about to pop. And now that I'm dancing, who cares if I ever stop? Look, everyone! I, Cornelius Hackle, sport am dancing!
You're next, Mr. Tucker. Glide and step, and then step and glide.
And everyone, stand aside!
Look, he's dancing!
I'ma join the chorus of the Castle Garden show.
Well, whatever you do, for gosh sakes, keep breathing.
Oh, my heart is about to burst. My head is about to pump. And now that I'm dancing, who cares if I ever stop?
When there's someone you hardly know and wish you were closer to, remember that he can be near to you while you're dancing. Though you've only just said hello, he's suddenly someone who can make all your daydreams appear to you while you're dancing. Make the music weave a spell, whirl away your worries. Things look almost twice as well when they're slightly blurry.
As around and around you go, your spirits will hit the top. And now that we're dancing, who cares if we ever stop? 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. And now that we're dancing, who cares if we ever stop?
How are you, Mrs. Levi?
How are you, Mrs. Rose?
The same. Pains in my back, aches in my sides, and stabs in my liver. I'm fine. My daughter Fanny got married, you know.
Did she?
A year ago last September. It's been a long time since you lived here, Mrs. Levi. Such a long, long time.
Ephraim, let me go. It's been long enough, Ephraim. Every evening for all these years, I've put out the cat, locked the door, made myself a little rum toddy, and before I went to bed, I said a prayer thanking God that I was independent, that no one else's life was mixed up with mine. But then one night, an oak leaf fell out of my Bible. I placed it there when you asked me to marry you, Ephraim. A perfectly good oak leaf, but without color and without life. And suddenly I realized that I was like that leaf. For years I had not shed one tear, nor been filled with the wonderful hope that something or other would turn out well. And so, I've decided to rejoin the human race. And Ephraim, I want you to give me away. Before the parade passes by, I'm gonna get in step while there's still time left. Before the parade passes by.
Mrs. Levi, come along. Cornelius is taking us to see the 14th Street Parade. Everybody will be marching.
Why, Irene, you're crying.
Oh, Dolly, the world is full of wonderful things. Come with us, Dolly.
I will, Irene. I will. Before the parade passes by, I'm gonna go and taste Saturday's high life. Before the parade passes by, I'm gonna get some life back into my life. I'm ready to move out in front. I've had enough of just passing by life. With the rest of them, with the best of them, I can hold my head up high. For I've got a goal again, I've got to drive again. I'm gonna feel my heart coming alive again. Before the parade passes by. Look at that crowd up ahead. Listen and hear that brass harmony growing. Look at that crowd up ahead. Pardon me if my old spirit is showing. All of those lights over there seem to be telling me where I'm going. Where the whistles blow and the cymbals crash and the sparklers light the sky. I'm gonna raise the roof, I'm gonna carry on. Give me an old trombone, give me an old baton. Before the parade passes by.
great passes by. Pardon me if my old spirit is showing. Those lines over there seem to be telling me where I'm going. When the whistles blow and the cymbals crash and the sparklers light the sky, I'm gonna raise the roof, I'm gonna carry on. Give me an old trombone, give me an old baton before the parade passes by.
I'm gonna raise the roof, I'm gonna carry on. Give me an old trombone, give me an old baton before the parade passes by.
Mrs. Levi, she's beautiful, everything you said and more. Don't move, Miss Money, I'm coming, I'm on my way. Hey, you, cut that out. Stop, thief, pickpocket. I paid for that girl and I want all the parts. Miss Money, what have they done to you? Mrs. Levi, what is the meaning of this?
Nothing to get upset about, Horace. A last-minute substitution. Miss Money was called away on urgent business at the Mint. You see, they're running a little short, and so she's helping out. But she'll meet you at the Harmonia Gardens restaurant at 8 o'clock tonight.
That's the most expensive restaurant in the city.
And well, it should be. What food? And the fastest waiters in New York. By the way, I'll be a little late, so you're going to meet Miss Money in front of the restaurant. But wait till you see her, Horace. All done up in buttercup yellow and wearing baby pink shoes and humming a sweet old tune. Yes, a sweet Rosie O'Grady. You couldn't miss her if you tried.
Oh, right. I'll be there, Mrs. Levi. But only because I already paid for the introduction and I might as well get my money's worth. But from here on, you are hereby discharged as my marriage broker. Is that clear? From now on, you're just a woman like anyone else.
Ephraim, he's as good as mine. I'm gonna raise the roof, I'm gonna carry on. Give me an old trombone, give me an old baton before the parade passes by.
Welcome back. You all look like you could use a little help. So I'm going to help you the best way I know how, by giving you $500,000 worth of advice. A living is made by selling something everybody needs at least once a year. $1 million is made by selling something they need every day. A painted picture of a cow jumping over the moon is something nobody needs never. Yes, the greatest work of art on earth is a successful business. The greatest artist on earth is the man who can turn this penny into 500,000 of these dollars. I put a penny in my pocket, and in a little time, that penny in my pocket had grown into a dime, and in a little longer, a quarter jingled out. I put the quarter in the teapot, then I waited till the teapot had $1 in the spout. Put the $1 in my mattress and had some pleasant dreams, till suddenly my mattress was bursting at the seams. And that's how I acquired the wealth I now possess. Yes, that penny is the secret. Yes, that penny is the secret of my success. But wait, there's more. I put a penny in my pocket, and not another sou. And with my only shirt tail, I shined a rich man's shoe. He threw me down a nickel, admiring my skill. I gave the nickel to a blind man, then the blind man left me all his meager savings in his will. I bought myself a wagon for hauling blocks of ice. I cut the ice to ice cubes and got a higher price. I shaved the ice to ices for still a higher fee. A big tycoon said, very enterprising in your organizing, son, you must come work for me. En route to work next morning, I helped a lady cross. That lady was, you guessed it, the mother of the boss. The boss said, you're promoted! I need you at my side. Then I met the boss's daughter, then I wed the boss's daughter, and quite suddenly she died. I bought myself an acre, a silo and a steed. All Yonkers started buying my grain and hay and feed. And now I've $500,000, but proudly I confess that in my pocket is that penny, yes, that shiny little penny. It's that penny that's the secret of my success.
Sweet Rosie O'Grady, my sweet little Rose.
But I don't want to be on the stage. I just want to get married.
You heard Mrs. Levi. This is the only way to show your uncle that we mean business. Now, can you weep a little faster? Throw me off step. Faster. Faster. That's it.
Mr. Hackle, we just loved looking at the lights of 14th Street these past 4 hours. But now perhaps you better call a hack or we won't get to the Harmonia Gardens on time. Oh, there's one, yoo-hoo!
Oh, no. We couldn't do that. It isn't the money or anything. It's just that nowadays, really elegant people never take hacks.
Axe is out.
They all go by streetcar.
J.P. Vanderbilt, Diamond Jim Morgan.
Then by all means, a streetcar.
Imagine, just think, I've been elegant all my life and never even knew it.
Of course, if you really want to be elegant,
We do!
you walk. Yes, New York, it's really us, Barnaby and Cornelius.
All the guests of Mr. Hackle are feeling great and look spectacular.
What a knack there is to that, acting like a born aristocrat.
We've
Got elegance, if you ain't got elegance, you can never ever carry it off. All who are well-bred agree Minnie Fay has pedigree.
exercise your wildest whims tonight. We are out with diamond gems tonight.
Could they be misleading us?
Silver spoons were used for feeding us.
We've got
Elegance, if you ain't got elegance, you can never ever carry it off. Middle class, don't speak of its savoir-faire. We reek of it, some were born with rags and patches, but we use dollar bills for matches and
Vanderbilt, kowtows to us.
J.P. Morgan scrapes and bows to us. We've got elegance, we were born with elegance. Have you noticed when I hold my cup, the saucer never moves?
and the way I keep my pinky up indubitably proves
That we've got elegance, we got built in elegance and with elegance, we'll carry it on.
We've got elegance. We've got
Elegance, you can never ever carry it off. We've
got
elegance, we've got elegance.
Oh, look, Minnie, they're counting their money again. Isn't that just like the rich? Well, gentlemen, aren't you going to escort us in?
Of course, Barnaby.
Pudding.
Mrs. Malloy,
Yes, Mr. Hackle.
as we begin inside, may
Yes, Mr. Hackle.
I put my arm around your waist?
Yes, Mr. Hackle. But I might as well warn you, a corset is a corset.
And it is my order, as head waiter of the Harmonia Gardens and your supreme commander, that tonight, of all nights, our usual lightning service will be twice as lightning as ever, or else. I trust you are finding this table satisfactory, sir. The private dining rooms cost a bit more, but they do afford the best view of the entertainment.
$1.40. That's all that's left, Cornelius.
Are you sure? Count it again.
Prepare yourself for a big night, Minnie. We're out with two of New York's best-known sports.
I did make a mistake, Cornelius. It's only $1.35. I can count once more.
No, don't. We can't afford it.
I'm going to order everything on the menu. Waiter!
I have told you before, sir, you will have to move. This table is reserved for Mrs. Levi and party.
And who do you think I am? Only it's Horace Vandergelder and party. She's in my and party, I ain't in hers.
Mr. Vandergelder, of course. It's just that you never mentioned anything about your...
Personal physician. That's enough rouge, doctor.
But Mrs. Levi only ordered chicken for two.
Chicken! Chickens are dear.
Un pâté maison soupe du jour, un bon soufflé.
Why didn't you tell me this was a Chinese restaurant? We'll take 2 bowls of rice. Now get out! Now, Miss Money, I understand you carry respectable sums in your belt?
Yep, $2 only. It's in my garter.
Cornelius, it's sweet of you to worry about our reputations, but Minnie and I don't care who sees us tonight. Well, Minnie, what have you decided?
Oh, I couldn't order anything at these prices. I really couldn't.
Great grindstones, what a sensible girl. Waiter, we'll have 4 glasses of beer, a loaf of yesterday's bread, and some cheese.
Yesterday's bread? Oh, Cornelius, now I know you keep half of New York in stitches all the time. Minnie, have you ever eaten pheasant?
Pheasant?
Hey, why the closed curtains? You ashamed or something?
It's not that. I felt a slight chill.
Well, why didn't you say so? Here, I'll loan you this. Now let's order something to hold us till the rice comes. Waiter! Would you bring a roast suckling pig with chestnuts and oyster stuffing, cheese fondue and some lady fingers? Now what'll you have? What are you doing after the show?
Cornelius, it's sweet of you to worry about our digestion, but I'm sure the pheasants are fresh. We'll take 4, please, and a nice red wine.
Wait a minute. No wine.
No wine?
Champagne!
Champagne!
Once in a lifetime, Barnaby. Champagne and Neapolitan ice cream and hothouse peaches in Barnaby. Give the band leader a nickel and tell him to play To a Wild Rose. We want music while we dine.
This is a cafe, isn't it? Let's dance!
Vandergelders do not dance. We're Presbyterian.
All right, I'll dance myself. Give him $2 for the band leader, would you? And tell him to play something refined. I'm gonna do the hoochie coochie!
All right, Cornelius, I'll send for the band, but promise you won't order anything else.
Miss Money, you stay here. I'll tell them to play a waltz. Look, you give this to the band leader and tell him to play a waltz.
Excuse me, could you give this to the band leader and tell him to play a little...
Whoopee! Miss Money!
And 2 more pheasants, please.
Cornelius!
My purse!
My wallet!
Look, you, that's my purse! Miss Money, get off the table! You're dancing in the stew!
Excuse me, that's my wallet. I know it's mine because there's only $1, 3 dimes, 5 pennies. Cornelius, did you say 2 pheasants? 3! No, 4! Pheasants for the house! And never mind if I don't see the whale. I'll buy one of my own!
Sir! Sir!
What's this? Shouting? How many times have I told you not to shout, boy? This is the Harmonia Gardens, not one of those.
But sir, she's here, the lady!
What? Are you sure, boy?
Like you told me, sir, 8 o'clock on the nose. Up pulls a carriage, and out comes a tall lady with red hair and the biggest handbag I ever saw!
It's she! Mrs. Levi, she's back!
Rudolph, is it true? I heard somebody laughing outside the kitchen window, and it sounded like...
It is! It's Dolly! Fritz, tell the band she just stepped out of her carriage!
Rudolph, it's true, no?
It's true, yeah! She just stepped out of a white and gold carriage pulled by 6 black horses with scarlet plumes!
Ah, Rudolph, it's like old times again! Sir! Sir! Ruthie! She's here!
Harry, well, hello. Ruthie, it's so nice to be back home where I belong. You're looking swell, Danny, I can tell. Many are still going, you're still growing, you're still going strong. I feel the room swaying for the bands, playing one of my old favorite songs from way back when. So bridge that gap, fellas, find me an empty lap. Fellas, Dolly, you'll never go away again.
Hello, Dolly, well, hello, Dolly. It's so nice to have you back where you belong. You're looking swell, Dolly, we can tell. Dolly, you're still glowing, you're still growing, you're still going strong. Feel the rooms waiting for the best, playing one of your old favorite songs from way back when. So
Here's my hat, fellas, I'm staying where I'm at, fellas.
promise you'll never go away again.
I went away from the lights of 14th Street and into a personal haze. But now that I'm back in the lights of 14th Street, tomorrow will be brighter than the good old days.
Those good old days. Hello, Dolly. Well, hello, there's Dolly.
Glad to see you, Hank. Let's thank my lucky star.
Your lucky star.
You're looking great. Stanley, lose some weight. Tell me your secret, Stanley. Dolly's overjoyed and overwhelmed and overpowered.
I hear the eyes tinkle, see the lights twinkle, and you still get glances from us handsome men. So
Golly gee, fellas, find me a vacation. Yeah! What do you say, boys? One more time?
Yes, one more time.
Jeff, one last time. Thank you.
Excuse me, girlie. Dolly? Dolly Gallagher? What are you doing in that getup? And you're a half hour late. I demand an explanation of...
Ernestina.
Exactly.
Ernestina, whom I trusted.
She wanted to do the hoochie coochie.
Well, she always was artistic. Horace, I'm going to have our table move right down front. There's a dance in the competition I particularly want you to see. Now, don't let's say another word about it. I'm as shocked as you are. I couldn't eat a thing. What have you ordered?
What you wanted? A chicken. Now, Mrs. Levi, about this hoochie coochie
Did you
girl.
just say a chicken? Oh, no. I don't think I could face a chicken. No, not a chicken, not today, not after all that's happened.
Good. Then cancel the chicken.
And bring a turkey.
What are you doing now?
Nothing, just looking the place over, getting acquainted with the surroundings.
That's the trouble with you, Dolly. Always wanting to know everything, always putting your nose in other people's affairs. Anybody who married you would get as nervous as a cat.
What? What's that you're saying?
I said anybody who married you!
Vandergelder, you get that idea right out of your head this very minute. I'm surprised you even mentioned such a thing. Understand, once and for all, that I have no intention of marrying you.
I didn't mean that.
Well, I certainly do hope not. Horace Vandergelder, you go your way and I'll go mine. I'm not some Irene Malloy whose head can be turned by a few chocolate-covered peanuts. Unshelled. Why, the idea of you even suggesting such a thing. However, won't discuss it anymore. Here comes the waiters with our food. I'll serve Mr. Vandergelder Rudolph. Ooh, yes. Here's some white meat for you. Very good. Ooh, and some dumplings, lighter than air they are. And some beets, very tender and very good for you. No, as I said before, Horace, you'll go your way and I'll go mine. Now, start right in on the wine. I think you'll feel better at once. However, since you brought the matter up, I think there is one thing I ought to say.
I didn't bring the matter up at all.
One more thing I'm going to say before forget all about it. It's true. I'm a woman who likes to know everything that's going on, who likes to manage things. But I wouldn't like to manage anything as out of control as your household. You'll have to do that yourself, God helping you.
It's not out of control.
Very well, I won't say another word. Have some beets, Horace, they're good.
I don't like beets.
That's good. No, Horace, complaining, quarrelsome. Friendless so like you is no sort of companion for me. You salt your beets, and I'll salt mine.
Will you stop saying that?
Very well, I won't say another word.
Good.
Except this. At your age, Horace, you should enjoy hearing the honest truth.
My age. You're always talking about my age.
Well, I don't know what your age is, but I do know that up in Yonkers with bad food and bad temper, you'll double it in 6 months. Have some beets, Horace, they're good.
I don't like beets. I hate beets.
That's nice. Now dig right in. Yes, the pity of it is you could be a perfectly charming, witty, amiable man if you wanted to be.
I don't want to be charming.
But you are. Look at you now. You can't hide it. Now sit down, Horace, and let's talk of something else. But before we change the subject, there is one more thing I'm going to say.
You're wasting your time, Dolly. I don't want to hear it. I'm not going to ask you to marry me.
Well, I suppose that means you want me to ask you? Well, I'm sorry, Horace. I'm turning you down.
How can you turn me down when I haven't asked you anything?
There's no use arguing. I've made up your mind. Here, let me cut your wings.
I don't want my wings cut.
No man does, Horace. No man ever does.
I've got a headache. I'm going back to my hotel.
You can't go now. The competition's about to begin.
Here's the money to pay for the dinner. Here's $20. Wait a minute. There's nothing in here but $1, 5 pennies, 3 dimes, and a button. This isn't my purse. I've lost my purse.
Barnaby, that purse you found.
Impossible. I can't imagine you without your purse.
It's Vandergelder's. Cornelius, we better get out of here.
What am I going to do? I've never been here before. They don't know me. Stop eating that turkey. I can't pay for it.
Horace, it's the latest thing, a polka. And there's a dancer I particularly want you to see. Rudolph, have our table moved right down front so Mr. Vandergelder can better observe his graceful movements. Ugh, isn't he wonderful? With talent like that, he's sure to win the Sterling Silver Cup.
Now, Mrs. Malloy, it's been a perfectly wonderful evening, but I'm afraid we're gonna have to cut it a bit. Excuse me, short.
Oh, Minnie, look, a polka. Cornelius, I simply must have one dance.
But Vandergelder's right there. We've got to go.
We will go, but we'll dance our way out.
That's better. Now, you've all been charged with disturbing the peace, assault and battery, inciting to riot, and several other equally serious violations of the law of this city. Is there anyone here to speak on your behalf? Is there anyone here to speak on your behalf?
Excuse me, there's something in my teeth. Thank you.
Mrs. Dolly Levi, counselor at law.
Your Honor, the defense rests. I see no need to call witnesses, ladies and gentlemen. What I see upon that bench, a brow that gleams with honor, a pair of snow-white whiskers that bristle with fair play, and a nose. I ask you, ladies and gentlemen, to look upon that nose. A nose that shines through the night like a flaming beacon of justice. Would you mind turning this way a bit, Your Honor, so we can get a better look at your beacon? A living symbol of the motto of this great land, E probuscus unum. Your Honor, I ask freedom for my clients, and a verdict of guilty for the only real culprit here. Horace Vandergelder of Yonkers, New York.
Dolly!
The man responsible for these grievous charges of willful destruction of private property,
A curtain torn, a Vader bruised, and a sterling silver cup burned!
cruelty to a poor, unfortunate minor. Would you mind repeating that, dear? I couldn't quite hear you.
Mrs. Levi, excuse me, but if it pleases the court, I have something to say.
I was just about to call on you, Mr. Hackle. Go right ahead.
Cornelius Hackle, if you dare testify against me, I'll have you discharged.
You've already done that, Mr. Vandergelder.
I'll do it again!
You've done it again, too. And even if you hadn't, I'd still say what I have to say. Your Honor, I don't know much about disturbing the peace or inciting a riot, but what I do know is that what happened to me tonight, which is the most important thing that can happen to a man, might never have happened if I'd obeyed your orders and stayed in Yonkers, New York. Your Honor, I am talking about none other than love.
Aww.
What? You're trying to tell me that after 33 years you've fallen in love because you've taken one evening off?
Oh, no, Mr. Vandergelder. I'm not telling you I've fallen in love with Mrs. Irene Malloy in this city in just an hour. An evening. No, an hour. Even less than that. What's less than a minute?
A second.
Less than that.
A moment.
That's it. I'll say it slowly so you can get it all down. It only takes a moment for your eyes to meet, and then your heart knows in a moment you will never be alone again. I held her for an instant, but my arms felt sure and strong. It only takes a moment to be loved, a whole life long. Isn't the world full of wonderful things? There I sat, cooped up in Yonkers for years and years, and all the time, wonderful people like Mrs. Malloy were walking around New York, and I didn't know them at all. I don't know if you all can see from where you're sitting. Well, for instance, the way her eye and forehead and cheek come together up here. Can you? I tell you right now, a fine woman is the greatest work of God on earth. You can talk all you want about Niagara Falls or the pyramids. They aren't in it at all. Of course, I've seen women before, but today, I talked to one, equal to equal, and they are so different from men. And awfully mysterious, too. I bet you could know a woman for 100 years without ever really being sure whether she liked you or not. Today, I've lost so many things. My job, my future, everything that people think is important, but I don't care. Even if I have to dig ditches for the rest of my life, I'll be a ditch digger who once had a wonderful day.
I miss a few words back there, Mr. Hackle. Right after, it only
takes a moment, but his arms fell short and strong. It only takes a moment.
He held me for an instant, but his arms felt safe and strong. It only takes a moment to be loved, a whole life long.
And that is all that love's about.
And we'll recall when time runs out
That it only took a moment to be loved, a whole life long. budget cuts. Dismissed. Dismissed. All dismissed. All except Horace Vandergelder of Yonkers, New York. You're all dismissed. You're free, my children. God bless you and get out of here. Go.
See the prisoner now, Mrs. Levi.
Well, Horace, there's your life. Without niece, without clerks, without bride, and without your purse. I guess there's nothing left for me to say except...
If it's to ask me to marry you, Dolly Levi, never. Not in a million years, under no circumstances will I ever marry you.
Horace, that wasn't it at all. All I was going to say was... Goodbye.
What?
Goodbye.
Now hold on, Dolly.
It's too late, Horace. I failed. And when a woman fails, there's nothing else she can say except...
Wait.
Goodbye.
Hey.
Goodbye. 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 Don't try and stop me, Horace. Please. Wave your little hand and whisper so long, dearie. You ain't gonna see me anymore. But when you discover that your life is dreary, don't you come a-knocking at my door. For I'll be all dolled up and singing that song that says, you dog, I told you so. So wave your little hand and whisper so long, dearie, dearie, should have said so long ago. 'Cause you treated me so rotten and rough, I've had enough of feeling low. So wave your little hand and whisper so long, dearie, dearie, should have said so long ago. For I can hear that choo-choo calling me on to a fancy new address. Yes, Lord, I hear that choo-choo calling me on board that Happiness Express. I'm gonna learn to dance and drink and smoke a cigarette. I'm gone as far away from Yonkers as a girl can get. So, and on those cold winter nights, Horace, you can snuggle up to your cash register. It's a little lumpy, but it rings. Don't come a-knocking, I'll be all dolled up and singing that song that says, you dog, I told you so. So, Horace, you will find your life a sad old story when you see our Dolly shuffle off to glory. Oh, I should have said so long ago.
And I wouldn't marry you, Dolly Levi, if you were the last woman on earth. Not if you asked me 1,000,000 times. I didn't need you before, and I don't need you now. You'll go your way, and I'll go mine. Dolly, 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 Dolly.
You stamped, Mr. Vandergelder?
What? Oh, so it's you, is it, Mr. Hackle? Come crawling back, have you?
Oh, no, Mr. Vandergelder. I've just come back from my $146.35. You see, I've decided to go into business for myself, and since the only business I know is hay and feed, I'm opening up my own store.
And Cornelius has found the perfect location, Mr. Vandergelder, right across the street from you.
So you think you can compete with Vandergelders, do you? Well, just you try.
Ahem.
Aha! Another one come crawling, is it? What do you want?
My back salary for the past 4 months, $6.12.
You can't do this to me. Any of you. I'll go to the courts. I'll get lawyers. I'll...
Horace Vandergelders, I live and breathe if you don't look handsome in that outfit. So few men nowadays have the courage to wear fagnello and taupe. And now I know just what you're going to say. You're not satisfied with Ernestina. Well, I found you the ideal wife. But don't let me interrupt you. You're all doing something. What was it you were doing?
Getting Cornelius's money, Dolly. $146.
And 35 cents.
And $6.12 of mine.
And the money my mama left me, $52.48.
38!
48!
All right. If it's money you want, the safe's upstairs.
Money, 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 money. Mr. Vandergelder's money. It's like the sun we walk under. It can kill or cure. Vandergelder's never tired of saying that all the people in this world are fools, and in a way he's right, isn't he? Himself, Irene, Cornelius, myself, we're all a bunch of fools in danger of destroying the world in our folly. But the surest way to keep us out of harm is to give us the 4 or 5 human pleasures that are our right in this world. And that takes a little money. The difference between no money at all and a very little amount of money is enormous and can shatter the world. And the difference between a very little amount of money and an enormous amount of money is very slight. And that can shatter the world too. It's all in how you use it. As my late husband, Ephraim Levi, always said, money, pardon the expression, is like manure. It's not worth a thing unless it's spread around, encouraging young things to grow. Anyhow, that's the opinion of the second Mrs. Vandergelder. Which reminds me, Ephraim, I'm ready for that sign.
Well, don't just stand there. That goes upstairs.
Well, Horace, as I was saying, I found you the ideal wife.
Dolly, I don't want you to find me no ideal wives. If I want an ideal wife, I'll find one on my own. And I found it. And it's you, damn it.
Why, Horace.
I know I've been a fool with Mrs. Malloy and other woman, but Dolly, forgive me and marry me.
Horace. Yeah. Horace, stop right there.
What do you mean?
You know as well as I do that you're the first citizen of Yonkers, and your wife would have to be somebody. Answer me. Am I a somebody?
You are a wonderful woman.
Oh, you're partial. No, Horace, it wouldn't do to load your wife with money and expensive jewels to insist she be a benefactress to half the town. By the way, it's bad business letting Cornelius open up right across the street from you. Better take him on as your partner.
Partner?
And Barnaby can have Cornelius's old job.
Now see here,
that
Dolly.
way we can all dance together at Ermengarde's wedding.
That doesn't, you've gone too far. I'll dance at no weddings. Besides, I don't know how. It'll take me weeks, months, years to learn. All right, I'll dance.
My Horace Vandergelder, I never thought I'd hear you say a thing like that.
That front room, idiot. Well, go on. What are you waiting for?
Horace Vandergelder, what is going on up there?
Oh, I just thought I'd have that front room done over in blue wallpaper. I know the old paper ain't worn out yet. That fella's just set up in business and needs a good start. I've always felt that money, pardon my expression, is like manure.
Thank you, Ephraim.
Hello, Dolly. Well, hello, Dolly. It's so nice to have you here where you belong. I never knew, Dolly, without you. Dolly, life was awfully flat, and more than that was awfully wrong.
Horace, I'm staying where I'm at. Horace, Dolly, you'll never go away.
Wonderful!
Again.
Dolly, well, hello. Dolly, it's so nice to have you back where you belong. You're looking swell, Dolly, we can tell. Dolly, you're still glowing, you're still growing, you're still going strong. Someone whose arms you're in, hold on to her tight and spin. And 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, look, I'm dancing. As around and around you go, your spirits will hit the top. And now that we're dancing, who cares if we ever stop? Put on your Sunday clothes when you feel down and out. Check down the street and have your pictures took. Just like a dream, your spirits seem to turn about. That Sunday shine is a certain sign that you feel as fine as you look. When you hear us, all the world is all a smile. It makes you feel bad down to your toes. Dolly, you'll never go away
You guys don't get to leave yet.